Welcome back, everybody, to Hard Hat Talks, where we talk about the concrete industry, where we invite guests to, kind of talk about their experience and, what they're doing today and what their business is. Today, I'm here with Luis and Julie Torres. They're the owners of LTR Concrete. They're a leading concrete contractor in Los Angeles, California area. They specialize in residential, decorative, concrete, commercial. I'm happy to have you guys on the show today.
Likewise, happy to be here.
Yeah, so to start this off, tell us a little bit about LTR Concrete. How long have you guys been in business for, and who do you serve?
So we've been in business for 5 years now, correct? Right, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 5 years. And we do a little bit of both residential and commercial. So we've been working with homeowners directly and with GCs as well. So we're usually their subcontractor for projects, and we take care of the concrete portion. So we've been doing and Louis also has his general B license besides his C8. So on some projects, we are the general contractor.
Oh, nice.
Well, all of the concrete work, form work, masonry gets all taken care of in-house. Being a general contractor, I pretty much manage and we do some of the work for the general work in-house as well, but that's the part that we mostly sub out.
Okay, like the other trades, I'm assuming.
Yeah, other trades, carpentry, we do a lot of ADUs as well, interior remodels. So we'll do some of the drywall. If it's a little bit more extensive, we'll bring in a drywall contractor. Plumbers, we bring plumbers from the outside, electricians,
Yeah, yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, because they carry their licenses, and they're professional at what they do.
Yeah, no, definitely. You definitely want somebody that's qualified, especially with something like electrical and plumbing. You hear so many stories about water damage in homes, and sometimes it could be
Yeah.
as simple as an angle stop just not working or not being installed properly and it busting out. Next thing
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have quite extensive water damage and your insurance won't cover it,
Yep. An
so
unhappy customer. I mean, oh,
Yeah,
it's a
we
lot.
don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. So what got you guys into the concrete business? Was it like a family trade, or did you find it your own way, or how did you guys kind of get started?
we started in concrete. Well, I started in concrete back in like 2011, 2012. I actually started with a company where her dad was a foreman, and it took off from there. I used to set forms for that company, complete setup. I started learning how to finish, block, pretty much the whole rounded aspect of the trade. That's where I picked it up and just kind of ran with it. After I left that company, I joined another company. I worked there for about 2 years and, well, about a year. Seemed like 2 years. And yeah, opened up the company from there. Started doing our own thing right when COVID was starting to kick off. And yeah, the rest is history.
And how did that go for you guys during COVID?
We were slammed, to
Mm,
be honest with you. Was the weirdest thing. I know not just for myself, but a lot of contractors. They were completely busy. I have a lot of friends in the business, and everybody was slammed,
Yeah, I
mm,
think mostly most contractors in the LA area were slammed during 2020.
Yeah,
during
That's when
2020.
everybody wanted to make upgrade their yards since we couldn't go anywhere.
yeah. Me and
Yeah,
my buddies
yeah.
would crack jokes up like everybody's busy, even the bad ones.
Over here in North Carolina, all the trades were busy as well during that time. So, since you guys have been in business, how many jobs have you guys completed? You don't have to give an exact number, just like a rounded number.
I don't have any clue or idea. I mean,
For sure, bro.
It's just been so much, huh? You guys have just been so busy. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. So, like right now, how are you guys finding your customers? I know you guys are doing some video marketing. If anybody wants to check out their Instagram, they got some cool videos of their jobs, of their projects. But how are you guys marketing yourselves, or how are you guys getting, these jobs? Word of mouth, Google. How does that look like?
honestly, right now everything is it's mostly word of mouth and people that
Yeah.
know it and a lot of return customers. Uh,
Yeah, I'm super grateful for them. A lot of our customers tend to have other properties,
Uh,
or they refer us out to their friends, and that's how we have most of our, like 90% of our work, thankfully, has been word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Yeah, and I know the Los Angeles area, I mean, it's very dense. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of houses there. So, I'm assuming everyone knows everyone in the community, so they refer you once you finish their yard or their driveway. Do you think you guys being in the LA area, just helped out a lot? Like just being around so many people.
I think so. I think that definitely helps, but more than anything, I think it's just the people that we know. I guess we built some sort of like we built a relationship, and that relationship's built on a lot of trust. That it's like without a question when we go in there and I talk to them and we let them know what's going on. I take their job as if it was my own house.
Yeah, yeah,
Not just with the concrete driveways, not just with any of that. Once we're in their property, if I see a problem with something, we address it and we fix it as if it
yeah,
were our home, which is what a lot of our clients appreciate. And I think that that's what has us getting the return customers that we get.
yeah,
Keeping our word, I think, because yeah, even though LA is big and there's everybody kind of knows each other,
yeah.
I think there's also a lack of accountability because there's so
Mm,
many contractors out here. And I think what has helped us a lot is us keeping our word when we say we are going to do something, and also our customers being very, I think, well, comfortable with our crew because it's the same guys going over and over again. So, and then you'll see me or Luis on site.
So you guys have built your reputation. I think that's great to hear. How do you guys find good workers? How does the hiring process work with you guys to find like solid, reliable workers?
I think that finding solid, reliable workers comes a lot from how you present yourself and how you pretty much how your company is seen. If you see your company with the nicer trucks, the bigger jobs, the nicer equipment, I feel that that draws already people wanting to come work with you. And then from there, like our current employees right now, I've known them for a while. Some of them worked with me in the past. Some of my guys brought their friends along, so they
Mm,
already had a relationship,
yeah,
and that just it kind of
yeah,
solidifies that the whole team mentality. From that, I think it's just luck of the draw. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's very very hard. There's a lot of people out there that say they want to work, but when it comes down to it, the work ends up being a bit overwhelming, and that kind of drops their morale. I mean. I'm sure they want to try their best, but it's just a lot harder than a lot of people expect. Really, I mean, every project has its own challenges. We've been underneath houses, with under that much clearance from the
Hmm.
bottom to the top of the floor joist, digging holes for underpins, for footings,
mm,
for foundations and stuff like that. And we've been in 110-degree weather. We've been in the snow. It's just
Oh yeah,
the
we
beginning of the year. We were
yeah.
actually in Bishop, up in up north a little bit, up by uh where was it, Mammoth, close to Mammoth, about an
Yeah.
hour away from Mammoth.
And the guys are pouring concrete.
We were pouring concrete in the snow, it,
oh,
so it's just for for some people that's normal, but for us, we're used to the warm weather.
Like hell,
We've
but
seen
not
hell, but like
not
not
snow.
full on. We're a little bit up north from LA.
okay.
Miles up, and a little further up from us is Palmdale area, Lancaster. They get snow, but
Okay.
down here by us, you don't really
Yeah,
see
you
it.
don't see.
Well, I actually was gonna ask you that. Like, what's been the most challenging project you guys had so far? That you've got? Was it the one that you were just talking about, the one where it started snowing, or is there another big project you want to share?
I mean, I think that each project in its own has its own challenges. I can kind of think what comes to mind when you ask that question. But I mean, I think the first time that you do anything, I know the first time that we went into a commercial project, it was difficult doing the paperwork, submitting correctly. Some of the guys have never had to wear PPE, so having them wear PPE to remember to
Yeah.
carry it, to remember to put on the glasses, the gloves, stuff like that. I think that each first is challenging.
Yeah,
For you.
No, I think you said that correctly. I think I'm with you on it. I think each project has its own challenge, so there's not one that specifically stands out. One of our recent ones probably has been having our guys stay work out of town, so not local. They stayed days at a time away from their family, And that was a little harder, I feel, to
Yeah.
manage just because we had to use different vendors that aren't
Mm,
local. And I know it was hard for them. I think that was their first time staying out of town. Not
yeah.
Lewis's, he was more used to that, but their first time. So I know it
Yeah.
was challenging in that way, but each project that we take on is a little different. So each
A
one
little
has its,
different.
it's become a norm now
Yeah.
to have challenges.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure once you guys have been doing this for 10, 10, 15 years, every job is going to be like, oh, we've dealt with this before, so we got it. So I think you guys are heading in the right direction.
Thanks.
A lot of contractors, they start their business and then they're like, oh, I'm going to get rich in 2 years, 1 year, I'm going to freaking be a millionaire. There's companies, I mean, here in North Carolina that have been in business for more than 50 years and they're like, behemoths. They're like whale companies, multi-million dollar companies, but they weren't built in 5 years, 10 years. It took, decades to build that. And I'm assuming you guys are, in it for the long game as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that leads to my next question. What is your goals in, let's say, 10 years? Where do you guys see yourselves in 10 years? What kind of projects do you guys see yourself on? How many employees do you guys see yourself having?
To me, I honestly just I see us doing more commercial. I've done more commercial like when I used to be in the trade, I like the commercial more. Uh, I see myself going more into commercial
Commercial? Yeah.
as far as growth for the company, maybe hiring a couple more guys. Uh, I mean, who doesn't want to be the huge company, but at the same time, from here in 10 years, maybe adding another couple more guys to the crew and really dialing that down.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the size of the company.
I think it's a system you have in
I think the
place.
system that you have in
Systems.
place.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, the whole point is to have five guys out there and make it seem like you got 15.
Mm-hmm.
You got something going on when you're able to do something like that.
Yeah. Maybe some
Yeah.
estimators, project managers.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
But I'm on the same page. I think it would be more on the commercial aspect, public works aspect. I also
Yeah.
am noticing that our guys and Lewis thrive in that area.
Yeah.
And call me crazy, but I think both Lewis and I enjoy the challenges of whatever comes up.
Whatever
It's
comes
kind of
up.
part of it. If there's no challenge, it's like, what? What
Yeah.
happened? Why isn't there a
Yeah.
challenge?
Like
Yeah.
once in a blue moon, nothing comes up and it's just a smooth job.
Yeah. Yeah. We're like, oh, okay. It worked out.
That's great to hear. What are some, lessons that you guys learned that, you could tell to other concrete contractors?
Well, for me, I think it'd be trying to do too much. I think when we started, I tried taking over the world. I mean, we all come in here hungry, wanting it.
Yeah.
And, it's very easy to bite off more than you can chew. And that just comes into all aspects of business, taking on a job that you not qualified to do, but you don't either have the manpower or the connections just yet, or the funds. Some of these jobs, you need the money.
Yeah.
Let's be honest,
You got money, you got to put money up front
you
to
gotta,
do the
yeah, you
project.
gotta put money up front. You gotta have the insurances. You gotta have, the trucks, the equipment, and it's very easy to fall into a hole and dig that hole bigger if you bite off more than you can chew. And I did that, when I just opened up the company and dragged her along with me on that one. But
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
It's not so much like I said, a challenge of the job is just doing it for the first time.
Yeah. Don't bite off more than what you can chew. That's good.
Basically the same thing. Take small baby steps. It's
Yeah.
okay. The good things take time and just be patient. I know we all want those big projects, and I've learned that sometimes you make more on the smaller projects. So
Yeah.
just because you're not taking on those big projects doesn't mean you're not growing. It's just learn how to take those baby steps very
Yeah.
securely and good, and you have a strong foundation and go from there. Just don't jump into it like we did.
Yeah. Have you guys ever had to turn down projects?
I have turned down projects in the past precisely because of that. I think that sometimes you're too busy to
Yeah.
be able to give the time that a job requires. And if you do it just for the sake of taking the job because you don't want to let go of that quick buck or whatever it is, it's money that's there and you just want to grab it, it'll impact, your performance and pretty much how that relationship with that client goes.
It'll affect the client as well, especially
Yeah,
sometimes if the project's too far. We learn to also not take it just because we can't dedicate that time that that project needs when it's all the way over there and all our jobs are over here. And I don't think
yeah,
that's fair for anybody in that
yeah.
situation.
People also put their reputation on the line. Like you said, if it's something that you can't handle and you end up doing bad work or, not being able to put your whole 100% to that project, the client sees that and it hurts your reputation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, it's as simple as your guys being way too tired. You're overworking your guys. They show up. That same attention to detail on that job's not gonna go down.
Yeah,
You're gonna start seeing errors, mistakes, and that's gonna cost you money. If you have to come back to fix something, that's gonna cost you
yeah,
money. Any error, any mistake, all of that, costs money. So if you do it just for the sake of taking the job, at the end of the day, you won't even make what you think you're gonna make, just because all that money is gonna have to get put back into the job
Yeah.
on getting it done right.
yeah, yeah. No, that definitely does make sense. Has there ever been any customers or clients that are hard to work with? And if so, do you want to share a story maybe?
Um,
No, yeah, there's been a couple.
there's been a couple, but like thankfully nothing super bad.
I think we learned after one bad experience that I can really think of. I learned to kind of screen whether we're a fit or not. Everybody talks about that. You have to have the right fit with your contractor. Well, you have to have the right fit with your client too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just because your client really wants to go with you doesn't mean you need to go with that client. You also can say no, and if you feel like that you're not clicking, it's
yeah.
best to walk away.
Best to walk away.
We got pretty good at that, and we're not for everybody.
Wait, so when you say screening, so what do you mean in your head? Do you have like a mental checklist? What are some red flags that you can see?
A lot of red flags that I see is like micromanaging. Uh,
Mm.
they want
Mm-hmm.
to feel that they own you because they're giving you money. It's not the
Yep.
case. A lot of things. Another thing that I see is that sometimes they don't have that trust, that they second doubt. If they have that doubt and they don't trust you, it's not gonna work out because whatever
Yep.
you do is never gonna be right. You're just asking for problems. Another thing is I always make sure that that we maintain that open communication and that we're able to trust them as well, just how they can trust us. If I catch them in a little lie or something like that, that's, I mean, like everything, a major red flag. We're gonna be going down the line and you're gonna choose this and then say you chose that because you didn't like how this looked. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, it happens a lot more than people think.
Yeah.
So I think you have to kind of talk to them, feel them out, and kind of see how it goes, and then make your judgment off of that. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you're the one that mostly gets to meet them first. So I book his appointments and then, but from the phone call, you can kind of already tell when someone's just kind of calling for a number and they don't really care if their contractor is a professional or not. But thankfully, for the most part, everyone's looking forward to meeting Luis and talking to
Yeah.
him. It is a referral, but
Yeah.
he gets to actually meet them in person. He's the one that meets them
Yeah.
first. So
So how do you guys deal with those homeowners that are just looking for a price? They don't really care if you have a good reputation or they just want the cheapest price. How do you go through those homeowners?
I mean, yeah, I treat everybody the same. I'll give you the same attention if you just,
yeah.
you know, I'll give you my honest price, and if we fit in that price, cool. If we don't, we're not a fit. A lot of the time say, hey, well, can you knock this off? Can you knock that off? And I'm like, look, I won't sacrifice the quality of the work to
Mm,
meet your budget.
yeah.
If your
Yeah.
budget doesn't meet what we're looking, where we're at, unfortunately, you're gonna have to find somebody else. I mean,
Yeah.
no disrespect or anything like that, but at that point, you're asking me to
Jeopardize the job.
jeopardize the job, and more than anything, you kind of want me to go there for free. I'm
Yeah.
not, it's I do this for a living as well. I have family.
Yeah.
So my guys have family, so you're kind of it's kind of disrespectful at that point.
About to say you're asking you to take off and so um, you're making less money on the job and the quality is going to go down like I'm sure that you've turned away projects from homeowners that were just looking for the cheapest price and they didn't care about the quality. Has that happened before?
Yeah, I actually just had to go fix a job that I gave them a bid, and they went with the cheaper guy. And yeah. A month later, I had to go back and fix it because
Was
it went a crap.
did you have to go back and fix like the whole thing? Or
Pretty much, I mean, from what they did, it wasn't nothing major. It wasn't anything big. They just thought my price was, absurd. They ended up paying, pretty much the guy what I was charging from the get-go to get more done, but he ended up just destroying everything a lot more, and then they ended up having to pay me the same amount for me to come out and redo it.
That's crazy. I'm sure there's a bunch of stories like that. That's your house. It's an investment. Eventually, if you're going to sell your house one day, which the money you're putting in is going to show like later on. I'm assuming, the concrete market over there in Los Angeles is very competitive. So how do you guys deal with competition and, staying ahead in the industry? What do you guys think?
That's a hard question.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Honestly, we don't do those videos. Yeah, we don't do those videos to market. I'm gonna be
Okay.
completely honest with you. I don't like to market our trucks till this day only have, your most simplest stuff. We don't have wraps. We don't do any of that. Those videos are more just to educate the clients, people that are interested in doing certain things. Whether you go with us, cool. Whether you don't.
That's how it started. It was because most times when we would go to estimates, a lot of clients didn't know anything about concrete. They just thought that we
Uh,
went and we laid it out. They didn't know that we had to prep for it. So then I was like, you
okay.
know what? We should
We should, yeah,
educate.
we should.
What do you?
Just, I guess, like Gyro said, we show up every day just wanting to do a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
No,
mean,
that's
absolutely.
basically it. We go in there and just want to do honest work, just do our
Yeah,
best.
yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's a good answer. I thought you guys were using the videos to market yourselves, but I mean, and that makes sense. You're educating the potential customer, what you guys do exactly.
I mean,
Good
I will tell you that it helped with branding. I think it helped
branding.
with
Yeah.
that. Definitely. And it made our customers a little more familiar with ourselves and our team because it's like, hey, I saw you guys on that Instagram video and I
Yeah.
saw that work that you did and I saw him on that video. So it kind of gives them that, like, I know them feel.
but by the time that we show up to a job to look at it or whatever, people already feel like they know us. So, that makes it a little easier, breaking that ice. It is a little awkward. I'm here to look at your job. What do you want?
Yeah.
So at
Yeah.
that point,
Yeah.
it's you show up and it's a little warmer. It's more of a they talk to me more like, hey, like a friend.
Video, it definitely does help. If somebody's looking to get concrete work done and putting a face to the business, having those videos showing the job sites of what you guys do exactly. I think it, helps. Like you said, it makes them talk to you like a friend, and you're not just another contractor that they haven't seen before. I'm sure they'll feel a little bit better with you since they've seen you before and they kind of like recognize you and seen your work, seen the quality of your work. And I'm sure they go on your website and you guys have pictures on your website, so they can see like, okay, they have good reviews. I'm assuming that all helps when they're making a decision.
Yeah, no,
Definitely.
absolutely,
Yeah.
it does help. My guys, to them, a lot of the different stuff we build and create and what they see coming alive, it's just amazing to them. I,
Yeah.
I feel good seeing them turn back around and start taking pictures and showing it to their families, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. They kind of start looking up to you. I mean, I don't know if they look up to you or whatever. It's just kind of like, I don't know, kind of like hard to explain.
Like they enjoy working for you guys. Like you guys treat them right. They really feel like they're a part of your family, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly that. Like they don't come at you like, oh, it's my boss. It's kind of like they show up to an
Yeah.
extended part of the family.
Yeah.
And they bring
Yeah.
their kids around every so often. And,
Like
you
we've
know,
seen their kids grow and they've seen our daughter grow up. Literally, I have
Mm,
pictures of my daughter working alongside or just being alongside them. And
yeah.
it's crazy to see
Yeah.
that.
I'm sure that's a good feeling. There's a lot of businesses out there. So if you can find yourself some really good, like a really good worker and, somebody who's smart and wants to learn and wants to keep growing, keep that person, right? Keep them and help them grow. Like your guys don't look at you as just another concrete contractor boss, like, oh, I can go find another company and do the same work. No, they actually feel like they're part of your family and, they want to stay with you.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, I push my guys to want more. One of my main guys, uh, back when we started talking, when he joined the company, he would tell me that he had dreams of opening up his demo company. I'm like, let's do it, bro. I'll help you.
Yeah.
I'll send you out work. And to this day, I try to teach him, I try to explain him stuff. Whether he wants to do that, whether that's still his goal, I don't know. I don't ask him. I haven't asked him to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it was never like like I never saw it like this dude's gonna leave one day or be my competition or he's just here to
Yeah.
learn and leave. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, man, we all have that dream of wanting to do better in life.
Yeah.
So why kill it? Like let's grow together. Like let
Yeah.
me teach you.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be giving me work one day. You never know who you're doing it for. So
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that.
That's good that you don't think like that. And a lot of bosses, they don't want to hear their workers' goals or aspirations or dreams because they don't care and they don't, they're like, I want you to work for me. It's because, you make me money. So, yeah.
There's this saying in Spanish that el sol sale para todos, the sun comes up for
Mm-hmm.
everyone, and I really
Yeah.
believe that, and I know Luis also believes that, and he's always
Yeah.
making sure, well, I've seen him, that anything he knows, he'll teach the guys. I hope one day, if you do need this, you already know, and you remember me one day, wherever you go. If you
Yeah.
choose to stay here, that's great, but hopefully you can take this wherever
Mm-hmm.
you do go on your next chapter.
I know that could
Yeah.
be annoying because I mean I came from the old
Yeah.
school, so I'm sure at times it seems like I'm nagging, and I'll
Yeah.
tell them then and there like I know you guys think I'm nagging, but tomorrow when you're pissed off at me and quit and you go somewhere else, somebody else won't come over here and teach you this shit. So
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna make you different from the next guy that you know how to do this.
Yeah.
So whether you're pissed off at me and one day you want to leave because I'm being a dick, you're still gonna utilize this and be better off. So I still did my job.
Yeah.
So, that kind of gets them, to stop and think about it. But, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. They can take whatever they learn from you and go somewhere else, but, they're gonna appreciate that you actually did teach them.
I hope.
Well, do you guys have anything else to share before we wrap this up?
I'm really bad in camera shy, bro, so I don't.
Same here. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything.
Well, I appreciate you guys, taking the time to hop on the podcast and talk about a little bit about your journey and, what you guys got going on now. I really appreciate you guys taking the time for that.
No, man,
Oh,
thank you
no,
for
thank
having us.
you. Thank you for inviting us.
Well, where can people find you?
Well, LTR Concrete, Instagram messages, Google us, you'll find our phone number, give us a call, even if it's just for a question. You'll be surprised how many DMs I get, with just people asking me stuff.
Yeah.
Mm,
I don't charge, I don't charge to answer your question. So if
you're-
anybody just, thinks that
yeah,
they're getting screwed over or they have, a question, I'll either answer it or if I can't answer it, I'll direct them to somebody that can. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm just
yeah,
trying to help people. I mean, not trying to get rich, trying to stay fed.
yeah, absolutely. That's great that you give, free advice and, you let people pick your brain.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Now, don't come
Yeah,
with me a set of plans and make me manage your whole project. Don't get me wrong. Not what I'm trying to get out there. Nah, if
yeah,
you have a question, yeah. But
Yeah,
if you need some in-depth project management, you need me to look at your set of plans and tell you, something more in depth. I'll still probably do it for free because I'm just like that. But I have people showing up to my house with sets of plans. Like,
Oh, has that happened before? Like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
has? Oh,
yeah.
man.
It has happened before. It's like, oh, I have, some questions. I was wondering if I could stop by. Like, oh yeah, stop by. Some plumbing stuff. Yeah, yeah, stop by. Dude comes up with full sets of plans and has me there for hours reviewing them.
yeah.
My goodness.
I'll find some things on my desk. I'm like, Louis, are we even charging for this? And he's like, no.
And it's just crazy sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's like homeowners trying to not be cheap, but they're trying to do something on a budget, and so I feel bad. But like, yeah, some people do try to take advantage of it, and yeah,
I
Mm,
feel bad because we know that home ownership is expensive. We've been there.
yeah.
So,
yeah, yeah,
like, I know. And then we've also been lost at one point, and now it's like, oh, no, wait, we understand this a little bit better.
I don't think I had that as a question, but did you guys have any mentors or anybody you want to mention that really helped you guys out that you want to kind of plug in or give a shout out to?
I had a bunch of them growing up. I only hung around with older gentlemen. So all my friends that I can say, these are my friends, they're right now in their 40s, 50s,
Mm,
they're older. They were more like father figures to me. And they instilled that whole business mentality. They had me strive for success. And you could say that, they helped make me to what I am today. View things in the way that, we view them now. Example, one of them, his name's Salusha. And I'll always remember this. He told me that he doesn't charge to come and do your garden. He
Mm,
comes and he charges what he charges to look at that one rose that your gardener missed. Because
mm,
that's what's gonna make the detail. So you could hire whatever company you want to come and build your ADU. And they're all gonna do it the same way. You're gonna have the same product. But at the end of the day, it's finding that small little detail that they miss, and that's the whole reason why you're able to charge what you charge. And I put that on all my guys. I remind them constantly, like, hey, don't anybody that comes is gonna come and do what you guys did. You're gonna backfill the trench, backfill it. They're gonna come. They're gonna compact it. Everyone is gonna do it the
yeah,
same.
yeah,
But if you don't clean up after yourself,
hmm,
you're gonna be just like them.
yeah, yeah. What's one piece of advice you wanna, leave them off with?
I'd say just make sure your office is right. Make sure your foundation to your business is right. If your foundation to your business isn't right, you'll have problems down the road.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you I was the first one to do the ass opposite of it. No, they
Mm,
opened up the company. I showed up with a brand new dump trailer, tractor, and truck all at the same time.
And had quit.
mm.
And I had quit my job.
Oh my goodness.
So talk about a leap of faith, dude. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you want to make sure all your stuff is set, and
And work on getting clients
work on getting
before
clients.
you do all that.
Like
Shoot
kind of work what you have, don't you don't have to have a brand new 2025 DMC, buy a budget truck and, work from it, eat it up a little bit.
When you're starting out, you do not need the fancy truck. I know Lewis is probably trying to fight me on that.
I have a loud, obnoxious 6.0 dually, a Ford diesel. I love that truck. I love it. It's loud, obnoxious. It has a
Yeah.
late turbo, so you'll hear me down the street. I love my truck.
You hear Luis coming,
Everybody here.
40 blocks down the road.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the neighbor's alarm at 5
yeah.
a.m.
At 5 a.m.,
4 a.m.
you hear that truck chuffing outside. You know it's time to go to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people have roosters to wake them up. Your neighbors has your
I
truck.
hear you gotta do it. So
Yeah.
no, I mean to me it'd be that, and do it for the long run, don't do it on the short run. It's not a race,
Yeah.
Look at the turtle and the hare, the turtle finished and the hare just,
Yeah.
dove out. So
But what I've learned recently, and I think it applies for everybody in every business, is just being consistent. Being consistent with your work, being consistent every day, getting up, doing the same thing over and over again without seeing the big final picture. Because at the end of the day, we don't. Who knows if you'll ever see the final result or final big picture? So it's just what you can do right now in the present. Go to work, make sure you take care of your people and just doing that for 10 years, you'll be ahead of 99% of the people that want to see results like that. And I think we touched on that earlier. Just being consistent and doing small steps will eventually lead you to the big picture.
yeah,
I
absolutely. And
agree
then
with that.
yeah, no, like it's funny that you mentioned that. As lately, we've been waking up at 4 in the morning. We hit the gym. By the time that it's 6, our day has already been going for an hour or two.
Yeah,
I see more opportunities come my way when we do that. The days
yeah,
that we sleep in till like 6, drinking my coffee by 6:30, I
yeah,
I feel like my day's already gone.
yeah.
Most productive days are, like you said, that consistency, waking up early, being ready for those opportunities that come. That's the key to it all.
Like your fitness goals, if you want to lose 20, 30 pounds, you're not going to lose it like that. That's not going to happen unless you get surgery. You're going to lose that weight little by being consistent. You're going to lose it by hitting the gym, eating the right foods, mostly just doing it every day, doing it every single day and being consistent with it. You'll achieve your fitness goals. That can go for anything in life, like your business goals, family, everything, I guess you can say.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Well, the way you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're lazy with, doing your bed in the morning, you're gonna be lazy with picking up your tools and cleaning up your truck. So, that's the way you got, at least the way I see it.
Yeah, yeah,
Take pride in
absolutely.
everything you do.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time. We had a really good conversation. I'm sure anybody who's listening got some value from it. Thank you to whoever's listening to this right now.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
being
thank
on.
you.
I know you're in a different time zone, so I appreciate you making the time to talk to us.
I see you sipping on that coffee.
It's 10:30 right now, so it's not too late. Thank you to everyone who's listening. I hope you guys got some value from it. Until next time, thank you, Luis and Julie, for being on today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
All right.
Bye.